Jennifer here at Cozy New England. I've got a different video for you today. I've been talking about how I use my creative process for junk journaling. I thought I'd give you a flip through and show you what that looks like. This here is a repurposed happy planner. Now, I started out years back keeping track of my kids' day-to-day school activities, and this is what the inside of this particular repurposed happy planner looks like. I've actually picked this up at a thrift store. I've seen many of them in the thrift store. So I reuse these. I'll take the pages apart, or I'll just use this page, or I'll add stickers to this page. But this little journal here is since the beginning of the year, from January 2026 up until the end of March 2026. And now I will be starting a brand new one. So typically what I do is wrap them because they get very chunky. This one's not so bad, but I like to buy the bigger rings. This happens to be small rings because it came with this particular happy planner. So I'll buy just ribbons. You can get them at craft stores or pick them up at thrift shops. Let's continue on. So like I said, I repurposed this. I always start it with some embellishments. You can buy paper packs. They kind of look like this. They have all kinds of different papers inside. I try to organize these best I can. I've been working my way through them. I feel like you get a lot of the same, which is okay when you're starting out. I kind of went crazy and bought a lot of different things, and now here I am trying to use up my stash. So this was a Bridgerton journal, and so I just repurposed that page. And then I just kind of put in stickers. I buy vintage postcards, so I have a spot here that I want to continue to journal in, which I haven't done yet. I do lots of quotes inside that I keep. I kind of put them on my Pinterest page, and then I will go through Pinterest and see what inspires me, and I'll just kind of write them in. This was from a paper pack that I had a while back, and I basically use some numbers, and I just, instead of putting like, you know, today's March 1st or March 2nd or March 3rd. I don't have something every single day. So I like to just kind of represent by printing off these numbers and saying, oh, on the 10th I did that. And then on the 15th I did something else. So I kind of leave it a little more open to interpretation, even though it is in chronological order. So I write down like my goals, and then also I use sometimes these happy planner sticker packs, or there's other different companies that make these little books. You can get them in the craft stores, and Amazon has stuff like that. And those are like little stickers I'll put inside. I actually create my own pages because I think it's fun to use book pages, and I'm inspired by artwork, and I love the texture and feel of everything. So this came from an advertisement, this came from an art book, and I think this came from a kid's storybook. And then I just add little other papers and pages that I've come across. I even use masking tape because I like the texture and the color of it. These I just made up of my grandmother. I coffee dyed my own paper, and I printed off pictures, and I came across a sticker I found. I just kind of stick stuff in here. I like book pages, so I add those. I also like to add little embellishments, texture, so I love adding any kind of lace or ribbons or fabrics. And so like January 1st, I just kind of journaled about that. This page was just winter, and I literally just printed those off of Amazon on my printer and just kind of stuck them in there. These are postcards, vintage. I didn't want to tape them down, so I left them in their little jacket and just used masking tape. And I try not to make anything too perfect. Like, it's fine. It's fine if it gets ripped. It's fine, you know, if it's not on straight, you know, sometimes it's crooked. I like to just rip edges. These are old vintage stamps I picked up. Again, more advertisements. I found these little things at an antique shop. I thought that was fun, adventure. As you can tell, my theme is adventure and nature-based. And here in New England, winter storms are quite the thing, so I had to add that. And this was a book I used lots of images from, so I just kept to the cover because I love kitties. So I had to put that in there, and I love my birds. This is also just a vintage card. It's actually a Christmas one, but because it had oranges and I was in Florida, I used it as a little pocket and where I was heading out to visit my daughter and where we ate. And then I use, like little tags at the top. And oh, see, these all just pop in. So no big deal if they pop back out. But I kind of use those to flip everything. Just trips that we did. I make this to fold all the way out. So it's like a total fold out page, as you can see. Let's see. I've been adding these to keep track of the stuff I've been thrifting or spending. Soft era, February, just how I'm feeling at the moment. This was like collage. Use up all my stuff because, like I said, I collected so many things right in the beginning. And now that I have my new studio, I wanted to work through some of my stuff, use it all up. I love doing flip outs. So then again, I have this other page. Let's see, that flips out a little bit. Just stuff that inspires me. Images. Things I'm grateful for. This is literally a paper bag. I had a huge mushroom pack of stickers, so I was like, okay, I'm getting a nice big mushroom page. And I added all that. And then I documented Galentine's Day, vintage card, picture of the girls as we had breakfast together, as we do every month. Just stuff I want to focus on. A date night with my husband. I love tiki stuff, so we went to the famous Kowloon's in Boston, and we just had a little, like, romantic dinner and drove around. These are just some brands. I literally cut up some bags I had around my house and felt like sticking them down and went to town on that. Again, I love just going through my kitchen. I mean, there's like paper bags. Stonewall Kitchen is... This is all Stonewall Kitchen bags, and that's just a company in Maine that has jams and food and gifts and all cute stuff. And then I was just documenting like my dates of places that I went to lunch with my husband. This is a book page. I just love the whole page because I love birds. So all I did was add this little embellishment. So from there, my trip abroad with my daughter. This was a whole like page I made and inserted with pockets. We started out in Florida and I had these cute old vintage postcards, so I had to add some of those. And I journaled and I just slipped it in, so you don't always have to, I like having pockets so you can just kind of journal and add it in, or you can add it right on the page. And then when we were abroad, I took this little notebook with me and I wrote in the whole thing. So that is the whole trip journaled. And then these were just little packets and little things that I picked up along the way. We did transportation. So I had all this little transportation page. An old book page. I had already embellished it. A little something my daughter bought, so I saved the tag. And then some receipts. I wanted to save all of those. And talked about our hotels. I saved my little key. Yep, the tape's coming up a little, but yeah, I basically use tape, glue, whatever I come across. The hotel we stayed at in Paris, there was the little €1 because they don't use those anymore. Some embellishments and charms we've got. And again, these are packaging from like chocolate to tea, and then I added from another sticker book these stickers. So I like to just embellish that way. Again, this was from that cat book that I showed you with where I saved the cover. I just thought they were so cute. Our little receipt, the place we ate at. I took the little drink holder. Yep, more transportation. This was a fun page that I just made. I just loved like the colors and the book page and the texture of this velvet, and just a postcard I bought. And then I used my little printer to do these collages, which I think are very sweet. I just kind of save them in there. These were little things we ate. Just like the texture of the book is just so fun. Just an old page. I usually ink the edges to give it that old-timey look. Again, just making a pocket. This paper came out of a wallpaper pack at a dollhouse store. So that's where that came from. I saved packaging. My daughter bought a bracelet. And it's just fun to save the receipts to things. And just you can write on the receipts. And then that was our Europe trip. And then we did a day in Portsmouth, my husband and I. So I got this free, and I journaled about our little breakfast. And I used this bird page from a bird book. I added maps and receipts and any kind of ephemera that I had available. I just kind of added that in. This was my little souvenir I bought because I have a soft spot for Bigfoot and all things mystery. My little March spending, I've been traveling all of March, and I'm getting ready for my son's graduation, so I ordered his invitations. And then I did a girls' weekend in the Cape. So again, I used the maps, I used receipts, I used packaging, I printed out little pictures. And there's videos of a couple of these New England trips on my Cozy New England YouTube channel. And that was about it for this one, only because I could not fit more stuff into this journal. So I hope you liked this. Other things I can show you that I use is the washi tapes, just for something pretty. I use little stamps I've bought, little page turners. These are little fabric ones you can add or glue on. But I use all kinds of resources, and if I can get them for free or thrifted, that's great. So I hope you enjoyed my junk journal for 2026. And if you're interested in checking out some of the places I showed you of New England, I can link a couple of the videos below. And let me know if this is something that you think you want to try, or if you loved scrapbooking or something like that. This is just a more freeing way to explore. Well, that's it for now, my friends. Stay cozy.